We said, well, we're going to pick up with drug smuggling friends. And his thing when he came on the air was, Maxine, if you know this woman embarrassed me. I said, what? He said, they have her in one cell, and I down here in the next cell. And in my cell, it had people burning crack cocaine and things, like real hard men, right? In the cell, and Machel, they were there, you know, they bring in the old bread to eat, and na, you know. So he had to be playing along too, right? Like he's a bad man too. That's how you survive inside from the movies he has seen. And he say, I'm from here. He hearing this voice, boy, you okay, boy? You all right, boy? He said, I play like I don't know it. He said, when this fella say, I think it's you. This thing is going on. He said, shame to say it's my mother. Now the next thing. So she most vexed that she was considered dotish, and he most vexed that she embarrassed him inside the car cell. Okay, one other thing I want to ask about. There is also something in here about knowing your purpose. And boys, sticking with it. And doing it. And you're twisting and turning. You may do it different ways. It looks different, right? You're responding to the Bayesian, you change, you tune here. We've gone through so many transformations. Panasonic, ecstatic, HD, monk. So transformation, but understanding that through line seems to be something that you're very clear about. But that's a kind of combination of things that's hard to get. The flexibility with the persistence. How you come up with that? How does one get to that point where you can do both?
Well, it's not me, eh? People always feel, oh God, lady behind this boy is lady, this is lady, that is man, this is man. I have been, and always been, just the supporter. From very small, I always tell the lessons. Machel never wanted to learn anything. He never wanted you to teach him anything from the beginning, even before he was there. His brother, when he was 9 months, learned to swim because we live in Caranage, right near to the beach. He cried, he don't want to swim, he don't want to swim, he don't know he's not going. One day, he was 2 years. When I do so, the boy is swimming. Who teach him? Nobody. He just started swimming. All right, we come, we bought them some rally bicycles. Right? I said, come Machel, let us learn to ride. No, he don't want, he crying, he want Marcus must tow him. No, he crying. Next thing you know, I look in through the window, the boy riding the bicycle. Nobody teach him. Right, he go on again. We come with the letter. He was 9. 4 verses, 4 chorus of this letter to the minister. The father told him, all right, come on, let's learn this. No, he don't want to learn it. He don't want. We never sat down and learn it. When we go into town, the father said, first line, first verse, first line, first chorus. And when we go, we sitting down there, toes and fingers crossed, and this little 9-year-old boy, just like AJ, singing the whole thing. Never learn it. Then when he come, I said, they calling you a calypso singer boy, you can't write. He said, but I'm a little boy, I can't write no songs. One night he got up 3 o'clock, and he said, lady, I write a song. Nobody never taught him or anything. And he went on to come 3rd at 16 in the National Calypso Monarch with a song that he wrote. Right? That was first in the party. It was his composition, and then Take Me Back Africa. I think Stalin came first, Crow came second, and the King of Soca came third. 16 years. So I am just there following. You know, like he will say he wants something, and I will just do. So when people feel, how do you go through it? I just follow, and he will ask, and I will do, because I know he wasn't frivolous. And I know that he always had a purpose in it.
But he was always learning, and he's very clear too. There's a humility in it. So as much as we're using terms like king, there's a constant humility in it, where he doesn't assume he's going to be the king. Where when he see better, he's like, that is better than me. And I need to do better. I have asked him before about, how to stay on top. And he has said to me, I am not the best singer. He's clear about that. I don't have the best voice. I know what song good. And he will work to the bone to do that and compensate for not having the voice. But the persistence and the flexibility, they're there. And I think those are part of the values
and you work
from you.
Yeah,
work ethic.
Core values and you work ethic. And I've never had to say go and do this, go and do that. And when a lot of people sleep in, you can attest that he is there working. And I always have this joke that Colonel said, they know that, you know that. Boy will come, he recording something, one line, and 200 takes. And after that, he take the first take. And you know where I learned that? I heard Michael Jackson saying the same thing. So he will listen to all, and this year now, he's recording and he's doing catch the same thing. And he's going through and he's going through. And then they will say, oh, when he finish, then they will realize and understand. And I think that he got this just from those core values that he learned when he was small. Never give up. Work hard, collaborate, work with people, listen, educate. Machel went to school, and his advantage is he went and did sound engineering and production. So that when he's in there, he knows what he wants to hear. He knows how to tie it up. And it's an experience to see him in the studio, because he doesn't only go there to sing. He could record himself, he could edit, he could produce, he could mix, and then he could tell you, that is a hit.
All right. Can we hear from another queen who happens to be here with us as well in person, but has done a testimonial as well? Let's hear from Alison.
I'm so happy to be able to congratulate Miss Liz Montano on the creation of such a wonderful book on her amazing and talented son, Machel Montano. Mr. Machel, hey, ha! You know I had to do it. I had to do it, Machel. Machel and I have been friends for a very, very long time. We've been in the trenches together musically, and I'm proud of everything that he has achieved, and I'm so happy that your mom has, the person that probably knows you the best by now, has done such a stellar job of writing and presenting this amazing book, King of Soca. Congrats.
All right, y'all want to hear a little hip-hop? Many of you have probably been to Machel Montano's show, seen him perform. We have a little collage of some of his performances, just so you get another taste this evening.
We have a good few minutes, so sit back, relax, and take it in. Small.
If you want to stand up and whine, you can do that.
No, not tonight. like my son will tell me when he see me doing it, take it down, lady, take it down.
How much longer do you plan to stay in the group? So, or do you have some plans of going to another few lessons?
Well, I plan to take it as far as I can, but I do all sorts of music, reggae, calypso, ballad, rhythm and blues.
So what you're saying that you will not always be a calypso?
No, I'll be an entertainer.
I am writing a letter to the education minister, because it has certain things going on, and I wonder if he is aware. Everybody running their mouth and talking school children bad, and the things they're saying, as man, I just get real mad. I admit that it have a few, but some teachers doing wrongs too. So is this a case of do as I say, but don't dare to do as I do? I say I change my style, but I'm got little wine, and they laugh, they come to amusement. I say I'm coming on hot, they show me what I got, and they start, they get to my comment. They say I'm a little boy, I'm too young to sing. I said to the square and joy, that's fussy and say. They friendship on touches and within the joy and fun. Because I've got to work, have you more yesterday. They say I do love to say back. Oh, yeah, yeah, you make it true. They say I play you with fire. Oh, yeah, yeah, you make it true.
Before I start, I'd like to dedicate this song to the most beautiful girl in the world, to me, my mother.
She's my dream girl, the most beautiful girl in the world. And I'm awakened by the warmth and feelings of love, 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 love.
I want to be in your arms again. Take me back, Africa. I want to share your sorrow and pain. Take me back, Africa. I want to rediscover my culture on the banks of the river Niger. I want to walk on the Sahara. Take me back, Africa.
Born around 1974 to a mother named Calypso. Junior appeared to be so much more. Over the years he began to grow, but like his grandfather Pacalinda and grandmammy Sweet Cariso, the family traits of little boy Soca could I never hide with just so.
Who's your Please don't be shy.
Thank you. I had a question I thought you were going to ask, Maxine, and it's pretty unformed. I'm going to try to formulate it quickly. Want to say first, thank you, lady, for sharing this, and Maxine, thank you for guiding us through this. My question is one on, I guess it's on sacrifice. I work in a community of gifted and talented youth a lot, but they're mostly athletes, and I hear oftentimes parents talking about and struggling with this idea of the fine line between encouragement and pushing. And I cannot imagine this career without a whole heap of sacrifice. Like, he come into Barbados to do this thing when he's 12, so he missing school. And he must have missed snuff parties and events and all of this. And I'm wondering if you ever had to say, no, you gotta go and do your schoolwork, or you can't go to this thing, or if all of it is Machel's drive. And how did y'all navigate all of it?
Well, first to begin, his mother and father were teachers. And education was very important, and my children lived a very structured life. So when you see them out there and doing everything else was already taken care of. And I taught my children and other children, including Farmer Nappy and the friends, and Machel class and Marcus class, and I taught them everything, and they were extremely successful in school. So when people said that you all are irresponsible parents, I didn't bother with them. Because when common entrance came out, Machel came out at the top of the school. When he did CXC, he had 1 year in sciences, right? My other son did well, he ended up being a pilot. With all that they were doing, they still excel. And sacrifice, as I tell people, when they say, lady, when you're going to get a life gift, and I say, that's my life. I have 2 kids, and I spend all the time, all my waking time with my children, and I get to do everything. I was a wife, I was a mother, I was a teacher, I was a guidance officer, and I was a homemaker. And then I was academic. I did everything. But then again, that is how I was socialized. Like I tell people, I lived with my mother and my grandmother and my sister, the 4 of us. And it just happened that I was the strong one. So when my sister was well, or when they beaten, they come in to fight with us, I have to be the one who fighting. I have to be the one who doing all the talking and thing. So that I ended up being like the baton. You know, everybody afraid, Lady Liz, whatever. You know, so therefore, and it was, I think, my duty. So I didn't think it was sacrifice. I thought that is what all mothers did until I went to Superior as an adult. And I realized, but not all mothers like this. When I became a guidance officer, but it was just normal for me, and I never saw it as sacrifice. Today, Machel is 50, my other son is 52, and they will always call me, they will ask my advice, Machel will blame me, he will whatever. And I will take it because I know he's serious, I know Marcus is serious, and I just think it's a part of life. Now I am 75 years of age next month, and I think I'm satisfied, and I tell them now is the time for me. I make 3/4, my next quarter is for me.
She says while promoting the book she wrote about Machel. And I'm going to push you a little bit, lady. There were sacrifices. So maybe you didn't sacrifice on the education. You sacrificed on the social. Machel couldn't go to all the birthday parties. And he wasn't out there in every jam. And there were sacrifices in sports. He wasn't playing on the, you know, on the top team because he was out there when he's singing in the tent, right? Every night, you're driving from far to do this, other things couldn't happen. So it is a fact that you made choices. And I think the core thing about, were you just prepared to support, I don't want to say a single endeavor, but the focus in this area, and were okay with the fact that you didn't have a big friend circle, he wasn't social, he wasn't doing any sports, like all the other things that you give up?
I don't think so because Machel was a footballer. He was playing for Perez until the principal break his foot. So Machel had to go and sing with a crutch. So Machel was a footballer. So therefore Machel took part in different sports, and we had a social life. And his friends were the people from his village. They were my students, and about 20 of them were in the band together. We went out, we took our children all over the country. They know Trinidad and Tobago good. We took farmer, all of them, and carried them to Port of Spain, and they were involved. But as I said, even in the fun, everything was structured. It was a lesson, and they had a fun time. Sometimes Machel would say he didn't have a child, but but yes, but he did. He didn't have that what every child had in terms of running about and knocking about. But he experienced things that were worthwhile and still fun. He had development, and he had his friends. He had members in band, and then he had girlfriends, so that he was, it wasn't all that painful.
Yes, a question over here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Shelston Bradford is my name, and I would like to begin with one word. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know whether there are many examples of mothers who have written about their sons. And I believe your experience and your contribution is unique, because there are not many mothers who have written a book about their sons and the success of their sons. Listening to you, I believe this book is much more than the story of a majestic, talented young man. It's a story about parenting. It's a story about the values. You spoke about the values that you inculcated in your children. Today, where we are questioning the role of parents, this book could be an example to many of what needs to be done. How to bring up your children, how to help them to define their purpose in life, and how to ensure that that purpose is nurtured. And I'll tell you why I say that. In many countries today, if you're not going to be a doctor or lawyer, nobody's taking you on because you're not academic. You're not going to reach the heights of academia. But the experience that you portrayed this evening shows that culture and the ability to provide what society needs, that cohesion, that linkage to understand the relationship between growing up and collaborating, bringing people together, identifying the talents and the strings that hold the society together. These are characteristics that we need to nurture. And we need to nurture them in our culture and in our people. The other thing which I discover, just listening to you, is the economic dimension of the cultural experience, because it shows that we too can be champions of our economic fate. And it doesn't mean that you have to sell sugar, or you have to sell cocoa, or you have to make a motor car, or you have to make a bicycle, or you have to get involved in insurance. Culture can also be a very lucrative and a very important part of our development if we give it the support and the nurturing that it requires. And I think here in our society, as we begin to tell people about getting a job or going out and working for somebody else, we must also begin to identify these cultural characteristics and these possibilities that there could be another Machel Montano right here in Barbados, in the community, who could excel and have his mother write a book about it. Thank you.
I want to take this up. I want to take this up because many times people come to me and they say, Miss Montano, you must be real proud, eh? You have a son who is a pilot and you have one who is an entertainer. I say, no, that is not what I am proud of. I tell people, and just as you said, I say to them, you know what I'm proud of? That I see that the core values that my husband and I have inculcated in our sons, I see them manifest in them as men. And that is what makes me proud. And also, I want to take the opportunity to show people, and I think this is why in this part of my life, this is what I think as an educator I want to do, and this is why I'm doing this, as you said. I want to show people that we can start with nothing and get something, and that is how we do it. So for example, I have two examples that I have in mind. One is AJ, and the second is a little boy called Max Alexander. I don't know if you know him. He is a fashion designer at the age of 9. And how did this happen? At the age of 4 years, he went to his mother and he says he wants to be a dressmaker. Right? And his mother bought him a sewing machine and she encouraged him and she took him wherever he wanted. And this year, he was one of the fashion designers walking the runway in New York Fashion Week. He's 9 years of age, and his mother is the one who started and supported him. And the same thing I see in Miss Carter, that AJ started from very early, and she is there with him, you know, behind him, supporting him, and encouraging him. And there is the potential. There lies another Machel Montano, and his mother is behind it. And as I said, that one of our strong points, or Machel's strong point, is that he has a great support system. And that is what that he knows. It's a phone call away. I have a chair in my bedroom every morning. I have a meeting.
Today.
Still, you're 50. If he doesn't ever make, oh God, you abandon your child. My child married, and I abandon him. But you see, he's accustomed, same thing with my big son, and I support him. When somebody haven't seen me for a while, they come, so what Machel doing? I say, what Machel doing now? I say, what Machel, I mean a real job, a real job. I say, a real job? I said, do you know how much Machel earns? Machel wanted to be a lawyer. Machel was doing chemistry, physics, and econ at A-levels. And he said, I don't want to do that. And he came to us. I shed plenty tears when he said he wanted to leave A-levels. And my husband said to him, this job is not a 9 to 5, right? This is a 24/7. And also there's no pension. So therefore, you have to go to school, and you have to learn, and you have to develop the skill, because you have to work. And that is when in 1993, we sent him to Ohio. He studied and he gained that skill. And this is what it is: parenting, support, and that teaching of the core values. And this is what I want to do on this journey, especially when I look around and I see the violence among youths, and I see the parents not doing anything, and I see the individuality, and everybody wants to be the best, and I'm better than this one. And if we have strength in numbers, if we come together as a Caribbean people, you know how strong we will be. I want to teach people these things. If you look at my book, if you look at those stories, you see there and all that, I have 43 years of an archive. I collected everything, and I have everything. So when I was doing this book, which is an adaptation of my thesis from 2018, I had all my things down there. I had some of it in here. I had to do my research to keep it academic. But then I can tell you everything, and I call myself the ultimate insider. And I had no experience in entertainment or anything, but my husband and I read books. We researched international stars, and the first thing that I did in 1982 was to start to collect Now we have a registered archive with UNESCO.
So for my next book, she's not stopping. I would like to take a moment to present to a couple people copies of this book, literally a couple people. I'm very proud of how we are staying on schedule tonight. And I hope that you all have gotten some value from hearing the stories from the Ultimate Insider. So, Mrs. Montano will present to Mr. Andrew Billington.
Gold, that was November last year, he was 50. Gold, you have his autograph, and it looks like a vinyl.
Professor Clive Landis, are you here? Okay, so, right. So Dr. Henderson Carter will collect, yeah. Thank you. And it looks like I'm to receive a book as well.
Yeah, Maxine is very important to me. I manage her, and she manages me. So that's some of the ideas come from her, and sometimes I give her some advice. Maxine, thank you. We have some, would you want to bring Allison's? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Ras Ali. Oh, wait, let's take the pictures first. This is from Spectacular 1987, and I'm too young to Soca and all the others. Give them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here tonight with the Montano posse. And this lady here was very grateful to me when I opened my Tiny Lines then, in the early 90s. Because of the reputation I had with Machel as a youngster singing the Spectacular, when I called his mom and his father, they willingly came to perform in the Lions Den Calypso tent, and our relationship grew stronger and stronger since then. It was the only Calypso tent he had ever performed in this country. And Miss Montano, I would like to thank you and the king of Soca for the friendship over the years. And as you see, our friendship goes so far back now. When we did Russell and Friends 40th anniversary, 60th birthday, Machel Montana came in Barbados and performed for Russell FOC, free of cost. And I appreciate it very much. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you. Dwayne Antrobus, come Dwayne. Paige. You give me a lot of trouble, you know. This is one of our keyboardists. He's our music director. And of course, he is from Bali. Where is Branca? Yeah. Nicholas gone. What are you still in? Come, Nicholas. Nicholas is one of a great musician and producer, and Machel has worked with Branca over the years. Nicholas, again another bass. And finally, the little man, I think, that we're looking forward to doing big things. I hope he can read the book. If he can't, Mommy, you have to read it to him in parts.
I am pleasured to be here. Thank you. I will put this book under my pillow.
Very good, very good. A future, the future. We have that's it? Good, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be here to sign and the few books that we have remaining.
Little music. Send us out.
Yes, so we are signing and you can purchase what is left. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for coming.
You got DM me right now, you good? Yeah, alright.